Hello guys, welcome to YJ Digital World. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to create simple music cover art. I remain your host Algo Joseph. In doing this I'll be making use of Photoshop 2020. Please, if you are new to this channel, do well to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I post new content. And if you have any comments, you can leave your comment in the comment section. Likewise, you can also check me on my socials at YJ Digital World. Thank you guys. So in doing this, first of all I have to open my Photoshop. So on my Photoshop interface here, I have to create the workspace for this project. By doing that, I'll click on create new, and the create new a dashboard comes up. On the dashboard here, I'll have to set my workspace to a specific measurement. So in doing this, first of all I will call this, the name of this project is called Stellar Gold. So my unit of measurement here is in inches. I'm using the 4x4 of width and height. My resolution is 300. Likewise, my color mode is an RGB color mode. So after doing that, I'll click on create. Now you can see my Photoshop interface. Now here is the workspace we'll be working on. So in order for me to achieve this, I have to start placing in the element I'll be using for this project. So the first thing I'll be doing is to create a solid fill. So let me copy the hex code for my solid fill. So I've copied the hex code. I'll come over here to my adjustment panel here. I'll click on it, click on solid color, then I'll come right over here and I'll paste in the code I just copied into here. Click OK. So after creating the solid fill, next thing I'll be doing in the project is to drag in an image which I'll be using to create my background. So I'll drag it into my Photoshop workspace here. So Ctrl minus to zoom out, hold Alt on your keyboard, left click and drag out, that is to scale out this way. Okay, release your Alt key and make sure you align this to the middle this way. Still scale up again, holding Alt and left clicking. Okay, let me drag this a little bit down this way. After that, I click on the check button at the top, or I'll click on OK. And that is hit my enter key on my keyboard, Ctrl 0 to fit to screen. Okay, so after doing this, the next thing I'll be doing is to customize my noise. I want to apply noise to this background. So after adding this background image that I just inserted, so the next thing I'll be doing is to add noise that is giving the background a little bit of depth. So for me to do this, all I have to do is to come over here, holding Alt on my keyboard and left click on the create new layer icon. I'll call this noise, or I'll call this BG noise, call this background noise. Then I'll select soft light and then turn on the 50% soft light neutral color. Click on OK. After doing that, all I have to do is to right click and convert this to a smart object. After converting the layer to a smart object, come to my filter here, click on noise, move to add noise. On add noise, we'll be using this radius, okay, 10.12. that is the radius for the noise. So after doing that, I want to work on the colors of my background. So for me to make a little bit of adjustment, I'll come over here to my adjustment panel. On my adjustment panel here, all I have to do is to click on color balance. On color balance here, I'll be tweaking the colors a little bit. Okay, I will reduce the cyan level. Sorry, now add. Let me see. I think this is okay. I'm adding more of red, then magenta to about, let me see, I think this is okay. Then likewise my yellow, okay. After doing that, I'll click on OK here. Okay, after setting this, I'll come over to where I have my background here. I'll change the blending mode of my background to, let me see, my background, I'll change it to screen. Okay, the colors are now coming out. This is before and this is after. Now come over here. First of all, select the first layer, hold shift, select the last layer, then click on the group icon here. So I'll call this BG, which stands for background. Okay, so next I'll come over here and drag in my model image. Okay, here's the model image I'll be using for this project. So I'll scale out again the size. Hit enter. Okay, so after doing that, I have to adjust the position to something of this nature. Okay, so after placing this here, next thing I'll be doing is to make a duplicate of this of the model image. So I'll left click and drag it over here to make a duplicate. So on this duplicated layer, I'll have to come to filter here, come to order and apply high pass. On the high pass option, I'll set my radius on 2.3, click on OK. After doing that, come over here on my blending mode. I'll change my blending mode to hard light. Okay, so this is before and this is after. This is before and this is after. So you can see the difference. So after that, I'll select the two layers and group them. And I'll call them, Ctrl G is the keyboard shortcut for grouping. So I'll call this model. So on the model layer here, if I want to desaturate the image a little bit, I'll come over here on my adjustment panel, select the hue saturation, select the click marks, and come here and turn down my saturation to about 16 minus 16. Okay, as well I'll come again over here, create another saturation here. I want to change the color of my model, so I'll click on the color, this handle over here. After clicking on it, you notice my mouse pointer changes to an eyedropper icon. So I'll use it to sample color on the clothes. So after doing that, all I have to do is to come over here and adjust the hue to a color of my choice. Let me see. Okay, after doing that, I can come here, adjust these handles this way. If you notice, the colors of the nails are totally different from that of the model's clothes. So I'm trying to adjust the colors so that everything will fit in properly. You can see. You can also use this method to change colors of objects in Photoshop. This same method, you also achieve the same result. Okay, so after doing that, I'll close this. Okay, I'm done with this part. So the next thing I'll be doing is to create a new layer. So after creating a new layer, okay, I'll come over here to pick some code here. I'll copy, come over here, pick my brush, come over here on my front color, my front background color. I'll paste in the hex code here, check. So after doing that, well, please take note. I notice most creatives find it difficult. You notice whenever they pick their brush, their mouse pointer is always in form of a cross, and actually the brush is actually on a bigger scale size. But they notice that whenever they are brushing, they can't ascertain the size of the brush on their screen. Please note that your caps lock on your keyboard is turned on. That's why. So if you turn it on, it comes this way. If you turn it off, you see the actual size of your brush. So I can use the open and close bracket key beside my P button on my keyboard to scale up and scale down the size of my brush. Okay, so for me to add a little light effect on this project, I have to make sure my opacity and my flow are set to 100%. Okay, come over here and I'll just brush once. So after doing that, come over to my blending mode and change this to let me see, screen is okay. Then Ctrl T and hit Ctrl T on my keyboard to scale up, to transform, so I can scale up the size. You can see the effect. Okay, after that I also create another new layer. I come to my panel here as well, my notepad here, copy the hex code, come to my foreground color, I paste in the hex code here, click on OK, come over here again and brush once, then change my blending mode to screen as well. Okay, increase the size. Okay, I'll have to transform to increase the size. Okay, Ctrl 0 to fit to screen. Okay, you can now see how the lights are on the image of the model, and you can now see the impact of the light. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing we will be doing here is to add the information we will be needing for this project. Okay, so for me to do that, all I have to do is to adjust the position of this model, select the group layer, and then take it down a little. Okay, so for me to place my information, normally I have to set my guide. So click on view, click on layout, new guide layout. Okay, and these are the parameters I use in setting my guide. So click on OK. So the first thing I'll be placing here is this text. Okay, I've copied the text here. I'll just come over here and paste it in, click OK. So after pasting in the text, I have to make a little adjustment to the text. So in case you don't have your character panel over here, all you have to do is to come to window here, select character panel for that. So but if you have yours already, you don't need it. So you just come to your character panel here and change the color of your text to white. Okay, I'll also reduce my tracking. My tracking is much on this. Increase the size to about 4. Okay, reduce this to regular under the same font type. I'm using Montserrat. Then I will return this to medium. Okay, so all I have to do is to Control A and select this to align horizontally to the middle. Control D to deselect. Okay, so I'll position this up here. Then I can choose to increase the tracking a little bit. Control A again, sorry, hit enter, Control A, then you align horizontally to the middle and Control D to deselect. So after doing that, the next thing I'll be doing is to place in the theme of the song, okay, of the cover art. So come here, pick my text tool, I'll paste in the text here. After pasting it here, I'll be using the font called let me see, okay, I'm using the Sweet Beans font. Sweet Beans free font, that's the name of the font. Okay, so I'll turn on the Fox bold, then come over here, Ctrl T, and increase the size. If you notice the space between text is too much, so I'll click on the check icon, come here, reduce my tracking. Okay, I need the text to be together. Okay, after doing that, Ctrl A again on your keyboard, align horizontally to the middle, Ctrl T to deselect, Ctrl D to deselect rather, then Ctrl T to transform. So hold Alt and scale from the middle. Okay, after doing that, and adjust the position to somewhere around here. Okay, the next is to bring in the name of the model. Okay, start copying the name of the model. I'll come over here, sorry, check, come over here and paste it in. Change the font back to Montserrat. Okay, so something medium. I'll turn the text to bold. Okay, increase the tracking a little. And place it around somewhere here. So increase the tracking a little and place the text somewhere around here. Okay, and also increase the size of the text a little as well. Increase the tracking a little, scale down this. Okay, after doing this, I'll also make a duplicate of this text, holding Alt and left click to drag to make a duplicate. Pick your text tool on your keyboard and I'll call this dropping soon. I'll copy this, come over here and paste it in here. Check. Okay, Ctrl A to select everything, align it horizontally to the center. Deselect and position it somewhere here. After doing that, I'll press Ctrl H to hide my guide. After doing that, I'll come over here where I have my model image here, the group. I'll select it, I'll add marks. After adding marks, come over here, select my gradient. Okay, my gradient is already selected, it's already set on the black and white presets, if you can see. So all I have to do is to come over here, create a little bit of contrast. You can see the effect on the project. Okay, you can see the effect on the project. If I want, I can still reduce the strength of that this way as well. Okay, you can see the effect on the project. The main purpose of this contrast is to enable me is to basically is to make the model and the image and the text which I placed here to pop, to be more visible, because if I leave this text this way, it won't be more visible. So in order for the text to be more visible, you have to add contrast, or you have to add a shape or a little bit of an outline to that region, or you brush out some percentage of that particular region, thereby adding contrast. So as you can see, as I added the contrast, you notice that the information here is more visible, unlike how it was before. As you can see, is more visible, is not visible, unlike when I apply the contrast. Okay, I think this is okay this way. So next thing I'll be doing, which should be the last and the final effect I'll be doing here, is to add a little bit of sharpness to this project. So all I have to do is to turn off all my texts. Okay, you can see I turned them off. Okay, I've turned them off. All I have to do is to hit Ctrl Alt Shift E to stand visible. Right click and convert this to a smart object. After doing that, come to filter here, slide over to sharpen, smart sharpen. Okay, and the smart sharpen here are the preset I'll be using. Okay, you can see them. Now then hit OK. Okay, so let me show you the difference. This is before and this is after. It enables me to add a little bit of sharpening and a little bit of a depth to the background, as well as that of the image itself. So that's for this. So all I have to do is to turn on my text back, and voila, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Okay, I think this looks okay. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, do well to give this video a like. If you enjoy my content, do well to subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content. Check me out on my socials at YJ Digital World on Facebook, Instagram. You can check me on Twitter as well. I'm also on Twitter. You can check me out here. Thank you guys for watching.